Launching new shows on TV series can be pretty nerve-wracking for everyone involved in this day and age.
Even the most expensive and well-written series are cut abruptly without explanation, while others just didn't garner enough viewership to push for another season. Speaking of which, in today's video, we'll be sharing with you a list of TV shows that were canceled too early. So, if you're curious to know what these are, then keep watching for more. So, without further ado, here's a list of 10 TV shows that were canceled too early. Starting today's list, we have The Black Donnellys, 2007. Four Irish brothers who end up in the world of organized crime in New York are subject of the story of the Black Donnellys. The show follows a family's ascent to dominance inside the Irish mob. The show had a superb balance of drama, romance, and action under the direction of Jonathan Tucker and Olivia Wilde. Haggis, a native of London, Ontario, heavily drew on the history of his birthplace, namely the slaughter related to the real-life Black Donnellys. Joey claims in the premiere episode that the area is predominantly occupied by Black Irish, or a race of dark-haired individuals, whom the Celts had failed to exterminate in Ireland. The series' portrayal of Hell's Kitchen, a historically working-class neighborhood with a strong ethnic Irish population, an Irish mob in charge of illicit gambling and loan sharking, and a significant presence in the unions, is also largely accurate. Unfortunately, The Black Donnellys was canceled after its first season due to poor ratings. NBC broadcast the first 8 episodes, with the remaining episodes only available on DVD. The unsuccessful gangster drama was never allowed to fully tell the tale it was intended to. Next on the list is one of the more recent shows on Netflix, and it's the live adaptation of Cowboy Bebop. The Cowboy Bebop live-action adaptation had a lot of promise in its unsuccessful first season, and looked set to taking exciting new turns in its follow-up. The actors in the series include John Cho, Mustafa Shakir, Daniela Pineda, Alina Satine, and Alex Hassel. The show was created by Christopher Yost and Andre Nemec, serving as the showrunner. The 10-episode Netflix series received criticism for its script, special effects, editing, action sequences, and cast from both fans and critics. Sadly, Netflix canceled the show a month after it was created. The eccentric sci-fi film Cowboy Bebop, which followed the exploits of two space cowboys named Jet and Spike, never quite found its footing. Cowboy Bebop had a lot of expectations to live up to as a remake of a well-liked anime series. Bebop just wasn't the success that Netflix had hoped it would be due to a lack of the original's brilliant, somber, atmospheric design and some questionable story modifications. Despite this, the show does have some redeeming qualities, such as Mustafa Shakir as Jed and the development of the antagonist's vicious backstory, but they weren't enough to sustain viewers' interest. And tragically, the second season of the program will never be. Moving on to the next one, we have Timeless. A trio of unusual time travelers travel across time to defend the past against a mystery organization that wants to change the course of history in NBC's Timeless series. Actually, the show was postponed twice following the premiere of its first season. It was regretfully canceled again for the final time, before being sadly renewed for a second season amid the popular uproar. Timeless established itself as a fan favorite in its first and only 2 seasons because of a group of likable characters, led by Abigail Spencer, and an intriguing premise that offered nuggets of historical facts. The program was among the best time travel series on television, but it was never renewed for a 3rd season due to a high budget and dropping ratings. Another series that should have been given more time to develop is Mob City, 2013. John Benthrell plays LAPD detective Joe Teague in the film Mob City, which is set in 1947 Los Angeles and centers on the corrupting influence of brutal mobsters like Bugsy Siegel on the LAPD. Mob City, a neo-noir love letter from Frank Darabont that was based on historical stories, simply failed to find an audience. Due to its lack of commercial success, the show was only successful for 1 season. One of those television programs, Mob City had all the ingredients for success: great acting, an alluring setting, and thrilling action scenes, but it never quite achieved the kind of success it had hoped for. Perhaps Mob City and the adored noir genre of the 1940s have both passed away. Moving on to another series that got canceled early is The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, 2019. The prequel to Jim Henson's epic, puppet-centric fantasy masterwork, The Dark Crystal, 1982, investigates the history of the world Henson had built, known as Thra. The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance centers around the 2 primary residents of Thra, the cruel and repulsive avian-like species known as the Skeksis, and the gentle elf-like Gelflings. It tells the story of the ascent of the wicked Skeksis Eskies and the demise of the friendly Gelflings. The Thra universe was greatly enhanced by the prequel series, bringing a new perspective to the world building and lore while maintaining the integrity of the original. Age of Resistance was a smash hit thanks to its amazing puppetry, intriguing set designs, and captivating plot, though due to its relatively high budget, Netflix was obliged to pull the plug before the show ever got a second season. And also on today's list, we have Magic City, 2012 to 2013. Magic City was a sparkling, polished thriller about a hotel worker named Ike Evans, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who had strong ties to the mob. It was set amid the idyllic beaches of 1950s Miami. Ike must navigate the shady underworld connections while attempting to keep his family and company out of it. Magic City introduced all the flash and glamour of the 1950s, resulting in a visually stunning ambience. However, beneath all the extravagance lay a grim truth of shady dealings and violent mafia. It was an intriguing program that occasionally prioritized style over content, but was still enjoyable. After its second season, Magic City was canceled, ending on a cliffhanger. Next up, we have Undeclared, 2001 to 2002. After the critically lauded but ultimately successful Freaks and Geeks, Judd Apatow attempted comedy serial writing once more with Undeclared. Undeclared was a comical, introspective look into the life of Stephen Karp, Jay Baruchel, and his dorm mates as they navigated the world of academics in the early 2000s and centered on college freshmen. Undeclared was a program that never received the proper credit despite featuring a strong ensemble before they had their big breaks, including Seth Rogen and Charlie Hunnam. The show was only able to last for one season until Fox decided to terminate it due to internal creative disagreements. Moving on to another series that might have made it big, we have Rome, 2005 to 2007. HBO has a reputation of producing high-quality adult entertainment, and Rome was no different. Rome took an attentive look into the daily lives of the people of ancient Rome, going all the way back to the time of togas and sandals. Rome offered a gritty, accurate portrayal of life in the years leading up to the fall of Rome, following both the rich upper class and the city's poor commoners. Rome wasn't meant to last, despite widespread critical praise and an amazing ensemble of compelling characters. The show, which was supposed to depict the inevitable demise of the vast empire over 5 seasons, was only intended to continue for 2 seasons due to its exceedingly high budget, with some plots from the anticipated future seasons snuck into the climactic episodes. And also another promising sci-fi series that got cut is Firefly, 2002 to 2003. One of the best sci-fi shows ever made, Firefly won over many fans and soon gained cult status after its premature cancellation after just 1 season. Exploring the outer reaches of the galaxy with a motley crew of spacefaring smugglers under the command of Nathan Fillion's Captain Mal Reynolds while attempting to stay clear of hostile groups. The space western, which successfully combined humor and action, garnered a devoted fan base while it was on television. However, the show was terminated after only broadcasting 11 of its 14 episodes due to an odd combination of circumstances, including airing the episodes out of sequence and creative disagreements between the show creator, Josh Whedon, and Fox officials. Last but not least, in today's list of series we may never know if it's good or not is Freaks and Geeks, 1999 to 2000. The cult classic from Judd Apatow is an authentic yet nonetheless amusing look at adolescence and the challenges that come with it. Freaks and Geeks portrayed a nerdy mathlete, played by Linda Cardellini, who sought to defy convention and joined a gang of burnouts in the 1980s. The story was set in a small neighborhood outside of Detroit, while Sam, played by John Francis Daly, who is her awkward younger brother, begins his freshman year with 2 geeky buddies. Sadly, before the first season of Freaks and Geeks was even completed, the program was canceled owing to creative disputes between Apatow and the studio executives. Freaks and Geeks were new, hilarious, smart, and incredibly entertaining. And that wraps up today's video about every TV show that got canceled too early. Do you know of any other series that should be included in today's list? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching today's video, and before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. See you next time!